Welcome back to the Women's Basketball Summit, the online platform for basketball players, coaches, and parents. Today, my guest is Susan and Amanda Altman, and we will be talking about kind of the perspective of basketball, AAU basketball, from a parent and then a player. So, Susan and Amanda, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
So, Susan, you've obviously been on the summits a few times, so people should be familiar with you. But if they're not, they're new to the summit. Talk about your background as a basketball player, and then Amanda, we'll have you introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I grew up in South Burlington, Vermont, and I played, back then we all played 3 sports. So I played soccer, and I played basketball, and then I ran track. And I obviously fell in love with basketball because it's by far the best. And so I played 4 years varsity basketball and loved it, had a blast. And then I went on to play at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. And I played 4 years there and again, loved it.
Nice. So Amanda, tell everyone what year you are, where do you play, what AAU organization you play for?
All right, so
No.
All right, so I'm about to be a senior. I'm going to my senior year in high school. Play for the Bay State Jaguars, and I go to Beaver Country Day School.
Nice. So kind of the purpose of having you on the call, Amanda, is that the last few summits, people have asked for an athlete, to get an athlete's perspective for obviously this purposes for like kind of the game of basketball, kind of your thoughts on where the game is going, AAU basketball. So AAU basketball kind of for the spring, summer just ended. So talk about kind of your thoughts, your feelings on the summer basketball, and then Mom will ask you because I look forward to hearing what you have to say. So with the, like, I know you guys had almost back-to-back tournaments for like the college showcase. Like, is it stressful? How do you feel?
Yeah, so
Start with the summer.
Okay, so just the summer. Well, my team traveled to 3 tournaments. So there was Kentucky and then Chicago, so those 2 were back-to-back, and then you had about like a week off, and then we went to DC. And I think, in my opinion, those are the 3 best, but I don't really know the other ones. And I think it's a really interesting time because it's a lot of time with your club and your team, and I think there's definitely a lot of stress involved and a lot of emotions and everything. But overall, I had like a really good time, just because basketball is obviously very fun, and it's really cool to like be in that environment because you can see basketball players from across the country, which is really cool. And it's awesome to be around people that have put like just as much time, if not like more time, into basketball. So it's like really cool environment, but definitely like really stressful, and a lot of like people wanting, and a lot of parents wanting their kids to play well.
And just to add to that, I think the stress comes to the kids because there's a lot of college scouts watching them, and they feel like they have to be perfect, and nobody.
Yeah, and also it's about like what coach is at the game. Like players are always like concerned about like who's watching them, and that's definitely really stressful because you can like forget about like that like takes away from just the game itself when you're thinking about other things.
So I think, like, Susan, just you and I talking, I think like there are some players on the Jaguars that knew where they want to go, whether it's Division I, Division II, or Division III. And then there are players that have no clue. They haven't gotten a lot of interest from colleges. So I love this kind of both of you talking about, like, do you see a difference in like how these kids are playing, the stress level with these kids, with the parents? Just kind of talk about that.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so there's just like, I can just give an example of like, we had a player play on our team who was a few years younger, who had like, doesn't really know where she wants to go. And she was so much more laid back because I feel like if you don't put yourself or hold yourself accountable to a certain like group of schools or a certain league or division or whatever, then you can kind of like play and be free. But if you're like, you want to go somewhere so bad, then like that's kind of all you can think about and all you can see. But if you're not like thinking about that, like when we're younger and we're just playing, then it's like a different game, I guess.
And I guess, yeah, to add to it, it was really interesting because going into this last senior year season for Amanda's club, there were 2 girls committed.
Yeah,
I think
2,
only 2 girls
like
were started off the season that were committed. And they have less stress about the coaches that are there, obviously, because they know where they're going. But on the other hand, they wanted to perform well when the coach was there of the school that they're going to. So that's a different kind of stress and pressure. So it's definitely there.
Like no matter what you are, who you are, you're obviously going to feel something.
Yeah, you feel something. So it's not, I don't think it's a stress-free environment no matter what.
And it won't be when you're in college. So, I mean, it's trying to prepare you to play at the next level. I just totally lost my train of thought. But so Amanda, you're going in your senior season. What's your focus as you're going into the fall? Like preseason, conditioning, working out? Are you playing fall AAU?
Yeah, so our team will practice once a week, and then there's clinics twice a week. So that's 3 out of like the 5 days, I guess, that it's like a direct time and place to go. And then obviously I have to lift twice a week, and I'll probably go practice with my high school coaches team once a week, just so that like I'm filling out my time. But now that I'm a senior, I kind of have to manage it more for myself and plan my own workouts. Whereas last year, I feel like I had to think basketball every day of the week, and with tournaments and stuff. I think we're playing in 2 fall tournaments. So that's just like kind of a get in shape thing, because like the goal is that like everyone who's playing in college will know where they're going by that time.
Let's hope.
What?
Let's hope they know where they're going.
I know, right? Let's hope. And then, yeah, I also have to organize things at my school to see if like any of our juniors want to do open gyms, do that for them, get our high school team like ready to go.
Because you're a senior captain.
Yep.
Yes.
And you know where you're going for next year. Do you want to tell everyone where you're going?
Yeah, so I'm committed to the academic process at Trinity College.
And that's where Mom went.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, what is better than this?
Nothing. No, that's great. And you know what? I think the NESCAC conference is top notch. There's quality basketball. I think that some people think that they need to play Division I to play like the best basketball, and that's so not true. Kind of, especially in New England, we have top programs: Division I, Division II, Division III. Like, did you know where you wanted to kind of go to school? Or is it as you just played through the AAU process, looking at schools, looking at coaches, you knew what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I think that when I was younger, like the sky was the limit, and I just could like dream of anywhere that I wanted to go and just like kind of see that. But as I got older and started to like know myself better and figure out what my goals were, I could kind of place myself into that. So I feel like when I was a sophomore, I figured out that D3 was what I really wanted to do, and it was more just because I wanted to do other things in college than just basketball. I love school. Like, I just love school, and I want to like explore other of those things too in college, and like have time to do both. So for me, it was like definitely Division III that could let me do that. And then, do you want to know like?
Well, before I'm just going to jump in for a second. I know that we've talked in interviews before about how I think the most important thing that you can do for your kid is listen to them and really watch and see what is realistic, what would make them happy, and talk to them about their goals. Mm-hmm. So Amanda, she's a talker, so she's always been very open about what she wants to do, but I think it's really important to make sure that you're not dreaming for your kid, that this is their dream. And this was always, I mean, when Amanda came to it, she thought she loves school. I mean, she really loves school, learning. So
well, and not to say that like in D1 you don't learn, like you obviously learn, but it's more of like all the extracurricular stuff, and like even at like Trinity, like there's so many players on the team that like have all this other stuff that they're doing also. Like so many people play other sports too. Not that I'm doing that, but like I like that you have the opportunity to explore other things too.
Do you see with like your teammates and just the organization you guys have been involved in that they put a huge emphasis on Division I and kind of push like do D2, D3 to the back seat? Or do you think they're open to like kind of just whatever the kid wants to go? And again, D2, D3 can be a solid program. It's just a lot, the commitment. Like D1, you're from September to like July, August, you're going to be there. Division II, Division III, you have more time to kind of do more stuff. Do you find that they kind of educate you on the full process?
Yeah, well, I mean, it really just depends on who you are and how vocal you are with what you want to do in the program. Because for me, when I figured out what I wanted to do, I expressed very clearly to the club president and to my coach what I wanted, and they sort of helped me like along the way, I guess you could say. But if you want to play D1, like there's a huge part of the club that's very D1 oriented and like D1 focused And I think we have like a lot of, especially in like the younger teams who are like wanting to go D1. So it's definitely the club that if you want to go D1, like probably should be there.
And Susan, do you have anything to add?
No, I agree. I think it's really, you have to know what you want. But as Amanda said, being vocal about it, you have to speak up because there are a lot of teams in every grade. And so the coaches can't read your mind. If you don't tell them what you want and what you're looking for, they won't have any idea. But if you tell them and they will put you in a place to succeed. I mean, we're in all the right showcases, I would say,
and also,
to
like,
be seen.
Going off of that, there was like a really good thing that I liked. If a school that was there that you really liked, you could like, and a coach like knows that, they'll like play you a little more, like run a play for you, and you have to like tell them that a school is there, like, or that you're interested in, because then they'll like, it's their job to put you in a position to succeed. So if you're a shooter and you're not getting the ball in your hand, like when the ball's out of bounds, you need to, like, there needs to be an out of bounds play for you. And like, I think that's been like a good thing that they like put you in a position.
So with high school coming, did you, before you hit your senior year, did you have college coaches watching you play high school? Because like when we played high school, we had a team that was ranked #1 in New England, #3 in the country. So college coaches were coming to our high school games. Do you find that college coaches come to the high school games, or is it all AAU, it's all the showcase?
It honestly just depends on how interested they are. Like if they're very interested and you've had like kind of a history with them, then they might come to one of your games. But most of the recruiting is done in the AAU circuit. And well, I go to a private school, and there was this one day that like all the all-stars and the finals, like teams that are in the championship, there's like this one, it's called Super Sunday, I think. And you go, and that's when so many college coaches are there. But in a regular season game, like an elite game, you'd be lucky to have a coach there. Most of the time, a coach would not be there.
Susan, do you want to add anything?
I mean, no, I agree with that. I think the AAU circuit is when the college coach sees you for the first time. And if they are interested, you can send them your high school schedule. And if they can, then they'll come. But remember, they're in the same season. So it's hard to come. You know, high school season is during their season. So if they happen to have an off day and you have a game, maybe they can come. But I don't know if that's how they spend their off days. But I think that Amanda, she's got to tell the story about how Trinity came to be, because I think that would be really interesting to people. Like, why Trinity? I think you like this story.
Okay, so going into my junior year of high school, I just like recommend that's like a really good time to start doing camps, because if you're a junior, like you should have already done a bunch of camps to get that experience. So through that summer, I think I went to 4 camps. And one was 2 nights actually. That was very long. And then there was a couple like 1 day. And then there was a couple like 1 day camps. And the last camp that I went to, I just was dreading, honestly. Like I was so tired and I just wanted to go to basketball camp. But it actually ended up being like the Trinity camp. And I just didn't really want to go at first because I didn't know anything about them. But it ended up being the best thing for me because I loved the drills. I loved everything about it. And that's where I'm going to go to school. So, like, a big advice that I could give would be to, like, camps, because you can, like, really get to know coaches and, or not the campus, but, like, you could just
the campus, too.
Yeah.
They give tours and stuff. But, I mean, it's really these camps that she's talking about are just the summer camps. They're usually in June and August.
No, yeah.
I would say June and August. And it's just sometimes they're half day, sometimes they're a full day, and you just go and the coaches can see you, and it obviously shows interest in the school. So to me, I think that's probably the most important piece, especially if you're thinking of Division 3.
But it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that if you're interested in a school and it's somewhat local and you can get to their camp, I think that you're showing interest, even though if you're not 100% sure you want to go there, but you're not kind of sticking your nose up them, you're showing your interest. Because I've talked to at least 5 or 6 coaches for this summit already, and I know personally if like someone's just not going to pay attention, or they're going to move on. They're going to fit their needs somewhere else. So I think it's just important that you are open to the recruiting process. You listen to all college coaches, and then if you're interested in a school, absolutely go to their camp. So as we're wrapping up this call, Susan, I'll start with you. Is there anything else you want to add? I think from a parent's perspective, we agree on a lot of things. We have the same feeling about the recruiting, about AAU. Is there anything you want to add as we wrap this up?
it's a funny thing. AAU is a very funny thing because I wouldn't say it brings out the best in people for sure, because it's a very competitive environment. And when you're traveling with your kid, you start to focus on playing time becomes very important because you're spending all this time and money to, you want to see your kid play. So all these things become heightened a little bit. So I think overall, I'm thrilled with what happened with Amanda. I mean, I think she has ended up in the absolute perfect place. And I think that if it's the right school, and Trinity happened to be the right school for her, 100%, it's just easy. Everything just sort of worked. And the coach is a huge part of it. And Amanda is so lucky to be playing for Coach Garner. So I'm thrilled. Yeah. Big shout out, Coach.
Big shout out. And then Amanda, as we wrap up, is there anything else as kind of like a player that's gone through the process, went through all 4 years of high school, played the AAU scene, what you would like to share to kind of athletes that are listening?
Yeah, a big thing for mine is everyone like puts so much pressure on themselves and everything to work. And I think that everyone just needs to sort of relax and just remember what it was like to have fun when you were playing, and like how good it feels to like just work hard, and like don't forget about all the things that you can control, because some things are out of your control. Like you can't tell someone they have to like you, but like you have to do just like the little things, like work hard every day and be a great teammate. And I think like those things feel really underrated, because it's not like everyone thinks like, oh, coaches care how many points you score. Like they also want to see that like you're coachable and a good kid and like a great teammate. And, like honestly, the head coach is gonna want the kid that's like smiling when they're playing, not like beating themselves up for missing like a layup. So yeah.
One of the coaches I spoke to is a recruiting coordinator, and she actually said they want to see these kids when they have their worst game, because they want to see how they're going to react to the adversity. And I thought that was very interesting to hear that, because I actually wasn't even thinking that. So just some nice piece of advice you guys gave. So Amanda, Susan, thank you so much. I appreciate chatting with you. Amanda, I am thrilled that you are going to the school you wanted to, and I know your mom is. So I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Jen.